Army ants. A whopping 1 quintillion ants die every year battling each other. Some of these ant species have genius battle strategies. Tons of colonies are wiped out every day. One of these cunning warlord like ant types are army ants. There are over 200 species of army ants. Army ants make extremely large hunting parties, killing hundreds of thousands of insects. The raids vary in size depending on the species, but the exciton, a type of army ant, raids can be up to 65 feet long. You might be wondering how they would organize a raid that big, but they have multiple ways to communicate. They often use a chemical trail, but they also respond to antenna tapping from different frequencies. Then, when they have a large amount of army ants, they start the raid. Let's imagine they want to take down an opposing ant colony. With their overwhelming numbers, they start trying to get to the entrances. Luckily, the ants could barricade themselves in and seal off the entrances, but if they don't, the army ants take every inch of the huge underground nest. The attackers have multiple battle strategies, like surrounding the prey so it cannot escape. There are different types of army ants, like miner workers, which are the smallest of the workers. The miner workers usually perform general tasks like brood care, foraging, and maintaining the colony. There are also porters and media worker ants. The media workers assist in tasks like carrying prey, and expanding the foraging area. Porters specialize in carrying heavier loads, such as larger prey items, back to the colony. The soldiers are the largest in size and are vital for the colony's defense. They also have massive mandibles for combat. Now we get to come to the fun part. We get to put different types of army ants against different ant colonies. Let's put a colony of Dorylus army ants against a colony of bullet ants. The Dorylus army ants are native to Africa. These are incredibly strong and powerful. They have large mandibles and are known for their ability to overwhelm and consume prey. Bullet ants are known for their excruciating sting. Bullet ants could potentially defend themselves against a Dorylus raid. However, bullet ants are less organized in large-scale warfare, making them vulnerable to the sheer numbers and coordination of Dorylus army ants. Okay, now that you have a bit of knowledge about the two powerful colonies, let's simulate the battle. Part 2. Battling it out. A mature colony of Dorylus, numbering the hundreds of thousands, surged forward in a massive raid across the forest floor. They were on the hunt. Nothing could stand in their way. Little did they know a thriving colony of bullet ants was in their nest inside of a deserted tree trunk. The Dorylus scouts reached the outskirts of the bullet ant territory. The sheer size of the Dorylus ants' raid was amazing. The bullet ants sent out their own soldiers with their extremely painful stings. As the Dorylus ants advanced, the bullet ants rallied. Worker ants rushed to fortify the entrances to their nests, while soldier ants positioned themselves to block the ground attacks. The Dorylus army ants advance once more, but the bullet ants, with their size and strength, are holding their ground. The mass amounts of Dorylus ants overwhelm this colony of bullet ants. The Dorylus found ways to get inside their colony and carry hundreds of larvae back to their colony. The bullet ants, with fear of being overrun, retreat from the Dorylus attack. In the end, both colonies suffer heavy losses, with the forest floor littered with the bodies of fallen warriors. Ultimately, the driver ants' relentless number began to dwindle. The bullet ants, though taking a heavy blow, managed to hold their ground and protect their nests. Let's do one more epic ant battle. This time, the contestants will be a Chiliomyrmex against a colony of fire ants. Now, let's talk a bit about Chiliomyrmex. This species of ant is often called vampire ants, which is the name I will be using during the battle. These army ants are fierce predators, often preying on other ants and insects. Their aggressive nature and adaptability to makes them a force to be reckoned with. Fire ants, on the other hand, are known for their painful sting and aggressive behavior. Fire ants could put up a fierce fight against the vampire ants, especially when it's a big colony. Okay, are you ready to start the battle? Let's do it! The sun dipped below the horizon, casting shadows over the dense undergrowth of the forest. Beneath the canopy, two colonies prepared for war. On one side, the vampire ants, named for their predatory tactics and swift strikes. On the other side, the fire ants swarmed around their mound, a huge fortress in the ground. Their numbers were staggering, thousands of fire ants armed with venomous stings and insane aggression that made even larger insects frightened. The clash began silently. Vampire ant scouts infiltrated the fire ant territory, targeting workers that were alone. Like assassins, they delivered precise strikes, dragging the fallen foes back to their nest. But the fire ants were ready. The battlefield became full of warriors ready to strike. The vampire ants, outnumbered but agile, used hit and run tactics to outmaneuver their more powerful opponents. They lured groups of fire ants into ambushes where they took down whole squads. The fire ants fought back with their venomous stings. As the battle raged, the vampire ants used their ultimate strategy, a special group of large workers. But the fire ants had a surprise of their own, massive soldier ants. Their jaws strong enough to crush through the vampire ant armor. Hours later, the forest floor was littered with the fallen. The fire ant mound still stood. I hope you liked the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell. If you want more videos like this, you should check out some of my other content too.